For the at first period, and by intensive blood pressure, Facebook has liberated domestic information on the scope and environment of its misuse issue. Lot numbers are title decent, forcible substance is up sharply, and loath speaking is sliding via big cracks, but down there appears to be a tight capture on bomber promotion. Down there are as well key statistic lacking, such as how frequently Facebook removes thing wrong or foliage thing up how should be remote. The paper as well lacks information on the full sum of misuse located to its web, but the cause for how is simple, Facebook just doesn't aware. It instead of giving estimates relying on accidental sample of posts. Down there's a lot of slight gotchas in how you calculate things, Facebook's chief of food control, Guy Rosen, told. As we get superior, and as we enhance, and as we find out on the order way to do we will enhance the method. We will be outdoor on wherever we changing and how we're making The information liberated relates to 2 3-month periods, the at first block of 2018 and the recent of 2017. Facebook ruined downward the substance in several categories. On the last, the business estimates on 3% to 4% of all busy users on Facebook are counterfeit, and told it had undertaken 583 millionth counterfeit accounts downward among January and March. The figures specify graphics abuse with thorns massively, up 183% among every period time in the paper. It told how a mix of superior detect technique and an rise in the Syriac dispute might expense for how equal to 3.4 millionth trimming creature remote, largest of that, 86%, were spotty by Facebook's automatic framework. Automate as well play a big part in spot sex substance, spamming, and largest especially terror. Of the 1.9 millionth trimming of violent extremist substance remote among January and March, Facebook told it had spotty 99.5% up it had had the opportunity to swirl. How will do promise read for governments, especially in the US and UK, that include named on the business to halt the distribution of content of groups such as Muslim country? There take the order stairs to obviously determine which is and which is not secured speaking on their plate, told Brandy Nanek, of College of California, Berkeley's Center for Data Technique Study in the Concern of Community. Yet, she added, Facebook has an enormous job on its hands. The difficulty of how job emerges while examining loath speaking, a class lot more than hard to monitoring via automate. Of the 2.5 millionth trimming established to be odious and tackled, Facebook's automatic system spotty fair 38%, the otherwise were marked by humans with the website's paper feature. Though while posts do achieve the humane moderation phase, determining which should remain and which should be remote can be pregnant in challenge, a judgment the business acknowledged it did not ever get order. Down there's subtlety, down there's background how technique fair can't do still, told Alex Schultz, the business's chief of information analysis. As, in such cases we rely a lot yet on our overview crew, that makes a definitive judgment on which is necessary to go downward. To show Mr. Schultz told speech how would be deliberate slurs if utilized as portion of a homophobic assault had various importance while utilized by gay human beings themselves. So, delete all posts with a specific period would be the incorrect selection. Yet how do you aware I'm gay if thou review my section, he requested. To me, I put it at the top of the section, I've go shouting out of the wardrobe, I am really publicly homosexual yet how isn't real of all, and we can't aware how. The is a really hard issue. In and try to find which it may include skipped, the public web transferred out accidental sample. It took 10,000 posts how had been examined on Facebook, and done a mention of how frequently a chunk of substance was in infringement of its policies. The results were disturbing. Onto the specimen, as lot as 27 posts in each 10,000 concluded several shape of graphics abuse. Taking into account the 1.5 trillion everyday users of the facility, how could tool tens of millions of forcible posts go untested each date? The identical method alleged among 7 to 9 posts in each 10,000 concluded age, nakedness or sex substance. The sum of terror-related content was too little to specimen in the path, Mr. Schultz told. And on load speaking, he told, the business lacked any safe information on full amount. We can now action how prevailing load speaking violations were on Facebook, since while we're request our representatives to go and see, is the load speaking, is the no, it is really hard to score how. We're manufacturing mistakes and we're hard to get superior at measurement he. But Dottie Sweet, an occasion organizer in San Francisco, who campaigns versus Facebook's perceivable fail to fight the targeting of minority groups, told challenge was no pretext. I'm fleeing out of affection for the is very difficult, since he's very not brand new, she told. They discover period to produce date apps and they discover period to add to my banking expense, but they don't discover period to drawing out who their users are. Ms. Sweet, who outlined herself to me as a homosexual Hebrew dame in a gay Hebrew prospect, told Reliant on customer accountable to police force load speaking was radically corrupted since it could be offended to silent other. Thou fair offer human beings in malevolent intention the capacity to act viciously, she told. Facebook now has more than rather than 17,000 humane moderators, but the business has so far been comparatively coy on who they are. It told it did try to do certainly us-based workers processed incidents wherever an insight of us civilization was advantageous, also for incidents in some countries. But Ms. Lux feels the business as necessary to be more than outdoor. If you are employing human beings who don't already exist in specific public circles, various cultures, he's not departure to be efficient, she told. He's fair departure to immortalize the identical question.